Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Happy Monday. We are marching through the month of July here, getting closer and closer to training camp. We're jumping the latest Eagles news and rumors in just 1 second. First, shout out to Shane Butler. So you got a shout out from the Friday video, or maybe it was Saturday. Either way, Shane, you get a shout out. If you want a shout out in tomorrow's video, stay tuned to find out how. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's start with the latest Eagles news and rumors here on a Monday, as we always do. And there was a very interesting article that came out via ESPN over, what was it, Friday, maybe Saturday, that threw some major disrespect on our cornerback Darius Slay. Now, naturally, it's the offseason right now, and so a ton of these ranking articles come out saying, who's the best cornerback, who's the best quarterback, let's rank every single team, and it's fun to talk about them. Do they have actual impact on the NFL season? No. But whenever an Eagle gets disrespected as badly as Darius Slay did here, not being placed into the top 10 cornerbacks in the National Football League, we gotta at least acknowledge it and say how absolutely ridiculous it is. And now it's Eagles channel, so we're a little bit biased here, but as we go through this ranking, as you'll see in just a second, it just doesn't make sense how he can be left out after having one of the best seasons, if not his best season, as a pro. Either way, though, we can rest assured that in the end, we understand that Philadelphia will have a top 5 cornerback duo entering the 2022 season. Now, hopefully they stay in that top 5 ranking by the end of the season, but both Darius Slay and James Bradberry and Avonte Maddox should create an incredible 1-2-3 punch for the Philadelphia Eagles, the best we've seen in a very, very long time. Okay, so here is ESPN's top 10 cornerbacks, according to a recent ESPN Plus article. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey is sitting there at number 1. No issues with that. Obviously, he's the best cornerback in the National Football League. Marshon Lattimore is 2. Lattimore's an interesting choice there at number 2. I don't want to get too far into the weeds with his career. I think he's very, very good. Is he the second best? That's debatable. Same goes for Jair Alexander. I think statistically he had a very good season last year with the Green Bay Packers, but is he the 3rd best cover corner in the National Football League? I'd personally move Xavier Howard up a little bit. I think Howard's number 2. I think his size is what's underrated here. It's what makes Jalen Ramsey so good, right? Ramsey has all the ball skills, all the speed, but he's big as well. He's very physical, and the same goes for Xavier Howard, and so him at 4 is a little bit head-scratching. J.C. Jackson at 5, I think he's a top 5 cornerback. I think J.C. Jackson had a really good season last year. I think we need to see more consistent seasons from J.C. Jackson, but he obviously deserves to be up there on this list. Then you get to 6 in Denzel Ward, maybe a little bit forgotten there, playing obviously with the Cleveland Browns, but a little bit head-scratcher there. Patrick Surtain at 7 doesn't make sense to me. Now, I like Patrick Surtain. You guys know I wanted the Eagles to draft Patrick Surtain last year during the NFL draft. I thought he was good this past season. I think he'll eventually become great, but the 7th best cornerback in the league, ahead of some other veterans like Darius Slay, big-time head-scratcher for the young cornerback out of Denver. Marlon Humphrey out of the Ravens at number 8, I think A.J. Terrell's a little bit underrated here with the Atlanta Falcons. He was like very high in the Pro Football Focus rankings, top 3 cornerback according to them statistically, but he comes in at number 9, and then Trayvon Diggs there at number 10, which I think is a rightful spot. I think Diggs is grossly overrated. He's good, but the yardage is insane. He gets beat a lot. He does a lot of interceptions, which is good, but you don't really see him getting beat a ton, which Cowboy fans, if they watch actual Cowboy games, will tell you it's very, very often, and he's a lot more overrated than some people like to give him credit for. So here was ESPN's thoughts on Darius Slay and why they ranked him outside the top 10. We'll throw it up on your screen right now. Quote, Slay is a 9-year vet who made his 4th Pro Bowl in 2021, and, like White, has a fixture in the rankings the past 2 years, or was a fixture in the rankings the past 2 years. But he has 15 pass deflections since joining the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago. His ability his ability has held up pretty well, and I don't feel like he's lost a major step at age 31. And AFC Scout said, love Slay, I would just take others ahead of him due to ball production. So I guess interceptions is kind of the issue here with Darius Slay, but let's just be real. Slay was a top 10 cornerback last season. Like, there's no way you can sit back and watch the film and say that Slay wasn't a top 10 cornerback in the National Football League. Now, I would say top 5, but I guess you can argue top 10. And sure, the interceptions were a little bit lacking, but he doesn't get thrown at a lot. I mean, you talk about cornerbacks that don't get a lot of work. Slay's definitely one of them. And so, yes, you can make the case, sure, A.J. Terrell might have been a little bit better last season. Sure, you may have made J.C. Jackson a really good year, Xavier Howard, but to leave him outside the top 10 to me was a little bit disrespectful there. And I hope that he uses this as fuel, as he did post a tweet to his official Twitter account just the other day saying that, something along the lines of, questioning it, or this is going to be fuel for, a big season, whatever it is. But Either way, it is important to note that the rankings don't really matter. What matters is on the football field, and I think Darius Slay is very much going to benefit from the fact there's another Pro Bowl opposite him and James Bradberry. And so not only can Slay maybe not have to cover the best corner or best wide receiver every single snap, but he also might get thrown at a little bit more and hence bringing up the interception ratio as well, and therefore letting the ESPN Plus article writer maybe give a little more credit when credit is actually due. Okay, let me start with this. Ad break, pin comments down below. Was Slay a top 10 cornerback last year? I think he was. I would type Y down below for yes. If you disagree, type N down below for no, but I'm a big-time Slay guy. I think he was fantastic last year. Let me hear from you. All right, right now we're working on this subscriber battle, and we are so close to beating the Chiefs Report, one of our other channels here at Chat Sports in terms of overall subscribers. Look at this. I mean, right now, Philly has 3,527. The Chiefs Report has 3,611. We are less than 100 subscribers away from surpassing the Chiefs Report. So if you kind of don't like the Kansas City Chiefs, kind of annoyed with Patrick Mahomes and his little brother on TikTok, help us get more subscribers than the Chiefs Report in a fun little Chat Sports battle here. Go down below and hit that red subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Okay, what could be disappointed is what I think The Athletic wrote this the last week could be the biggest concern in 2022 regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and their defense. And there's a very interesting article, again, by The Athletic showing how Jonathan Gannon could be kind of the Achilles heel of what else could really be a really good defense in Philadelphia. Listen to this. We'll throw it up on your screen. This is from The Athletic. Quote, Philadelphia Eagles. Does Jonathan Gannon have more to offer than we saw in 2021? The Eagles upgraded at every level of the defense this offseason. Haason Reddick bolsters a 31st ranked pass rush. Jordan Davis adds beef inside. Kyzir, White, and Nakobe Dean improve a mediocre group of linebackers. And James Bradberry gives Darius Slay a better running mate on the outside. But last year's defense was not without talent and still played a passive style that left it ranked 25th in defense DVOA. Things are set up for Gannon, and as they are for Jalen Hurts. You have everything you need. Now let's see what you can do. End quote. I agree with this. I think Jonathan Gannon is the Eagles' biggest concern. Now, you can make the case that it's safety, make the case that it's Jalen Hurts, maybe Nick Sirianni, but I think Sirianni did a good job last year as a rookie. Gannon has every tool he needs. And if this defense is not ranked inside the top 10, then Gannon's got to go. And the problem with that is, yes, it's fine if Gannon goes, and we'd all be happy if Gannon goes, but that means that they weren't ranked inside the top 10, and they were bad this coming season. If they're bad this coming season with all this talent, we're just going to sit back and say, what a waste of a season. I mean, you've got to be really, really talented, or really good with all the talent that you have on this defense. And if Gannon is unable to get the most out of this defense, and as you remember last year, very passive, as the Athletic said, they would not blitz a lot. They'd sit back and play coverage, not get a lot of pressure. They've addressed all the major holes, but if this defense is not good in 2022, you will bet your bottom dollar that Jonathan Gannon will be the first guy fired from this coaching staff and one of the first guys that really will receive all of the blame for a failed Eagles season. But hopefully not the case. But it is interesting in terms of who the Athletic thinks is the biggest, I say, question mark or concern. And I would agree with that here on the channel, that it is Jonathan Gannon. Okay, first shout out. Who was the quarterback when you became an Eagles fan? We asked this a couple of weeks ago. I want to bring it back up. Who was the quarterback when you became an Eagles fan? Answer down below and be a subscriber for a shout out. Mine was, of course, Donovan McNabb, because I was born in 1996, and so McNabb was kind of the quarterback of my childhood. Although I do very much enjoy the fun but very brief years of Michael Vick. He was absolutely fantastic. But who was the quarterback when you became an Eagles fan? Answer down below for a shout out. And also, while you're down there, the 2-pack t-shirt combo is on sale right now. 40% off. You see the link on your screen right now, chatsports.com/Eagles t-shirt. All you got to do is go ahead and go down below and click the link. We'll have it posted in the description box. And you can pick up this 2-pack t-shirt combo for 40% off the price and get it in any size that is still available. I believe they all still are, last time I checked earlier this morning. So jump in on the t-shirt deal and rep the Philadelphia Eagles everywhere you go this summer as we get ready for the 2022 season. Okay, quickly, final story here. There was an interesting PFF article regarding Kenneth Gainwell, citing how there will be more carries his way this year, and you could expect a really giant leap in his numbers going into year 2, coming from the 5th round out of Memphis in the draft this past year. Pro Football Focus cites, obviously, Miles Sanders' injury history and the fact that Gainwell's the only real running back signed through 2022 that they might really want to feature going forward, and we'll read the article, or at least part of it, for you guys here right now. Quote, he can become even more involved in the run game this season. The Eagles haven't re-signed Jordan Howard or added anyone new to the backfield outside of an undrafted rookie. Gainwell, the only back under contract beyond 2022, so the Eagles will need to see what they have in him before next season. Philadelphia always plans on passing more this season, means more plays for where Gainwell is likely the running back in the formation. Miles Sanders remains the top rusher for the team, but but he's one of the least efficient in the league as he has the fourth lowest PFF run grade among 30 backs with 400 more carries over the last 3 seasons, end quote. So essentially the jargon here says that because Miles Sanders is inconsistent, mainly due to injury, because Philadelphia might pass a little bit more, which I don't know if I agree with. I think they're still going to be a run-first football team, just a little bit more passing mixed in with A.J. Brown. You guys get my point here. But because he's really the only running back left on the roster after this offseason, and that is Gainwell, you want to make sure you know what you have in him. Do you need to go sign somebody early in free agency? Do you need to make a big trade? You need to draft somebody high up? We really don't know. I think this is more of a referendum on Miles Sanders, though, right? Because if Gainwell plays a lot, it's because Miles Sanders is not playing a lot. And the only way Miles Sanders doesn't play a lot is if he's injured, right? We said this before. Miles Sanders is a big-time strength, big-time weapon on this team if he can just stay healthy. I know he was ranked, 4th lowest PFF run grade among 30 backs, but to the fact that he's been low on touchdowns, especially this past year, none of them. And then, of course, he's been injured a lot. So if he's healthy, less carries for Gainwell. If he's not, then Gainwell should get a lot more. Now, the question we'll end on is over under 500 rushing yards for Gainwell. Do you think he's going to get more or less than 500? Type O down below for over, or type U down below for under. Okay, all time for today on our Philadelphia Eagles news and review video here. For producer Trace, I'm Thomas Mott. Make sure you guys get your mailbag questions in down below using the hashtag Eagles. Got to be a subscriber to be a part of that. We're going to do it later on this weekend, so get your questions in now for a chance to be featured on the show. Again, for the channel, I'm Thomas, signing off for the rest of your day.